into this one, Aaron.
Yeah, and keep in mind this is the big year. This is the year that all of them have committed. This is going to be the most competitive match we will see in this tournament.
And in black and gold is going to be that top select team out of Orlando, Florida, and in the baby bluish gray jerseys is the team from Ohio, the Net Sports. First point to top select.
And Sydney Conley, Florida State commit, going up big in the middle. Again, it's all about net control. Who can control and dominate the net? Win jousts, take care of overpasses. That's a big part of this match today.
And Fitzpatrick with the ace. Penn State commit.
And that's kind of that, all right program up there. They haven't won like back-to-back national championships or anything. It's fine.
Yeah.
Great school.
That's coming from a UCF alum. One good, one bad in the net for Ann Fitzpatrick. First attack on the outside from the head. We're coming the other way with Terry. And the point given to top select.
And cool thing about Terry is she had a stress fracture in her back at the beginning of the season and battled her way through it on the court. Excited to play for national championship. We had a chance to talk to both sides before the match. Both teams excited to be here and play on this stage today.
Yeah, and for Mintonette, they told us that they're happy to be here and they're just gonna feed off their energy. That's kind of been their key this whole AAU season. Tracked down by Chitty. Terry able to not send it over and free. We'll get a middle attack. The block is there. And reset for Mintonette. And they get what they want out of this one. Point goes to Londot.
And Londot was one of the players that talked to us before the match. She's super excited to be here. Ohio State's getting a great player out of her. Long arm swing, long draw, just goes up there, uses her athletic ability. That's a big block in front of her with Head and Douglas in the front row for top select. Good battle.
Middle
Oh, great
attack.
dig. In the net. Oh, that just kills you, but huge dig out of the back row by Sky Stokes. Just getting one hand on the ball, keeping it alive. That's frustrating for hitters. Even though the ball was a kill, technically, because of the blocker being in the net, still frustrating. You put all that power into a swing, and someone just goes in and digs it.
Here we go on the opposite side for a kill. Terry.
And at this level, it's all about reading the block. Seeing that big blocker, recognizing that Aubrey Douglas is going to be on the cross. She has to go line. She has to try to beat the right side attacker. She's not going to go through Douglas. So just heads up swinging by the outside Terry.
Middle activation there from Aubrey Douglas. Audrey Douglas. Auburn commit. She was the one feeding us a little information before the match. She told us that this season, this club season with this group of girls is kind of special to this unit who's been playing together so effectively for the last 3 seasons. It's the last time they get to play, before everybody takes off for college.
Yeah, a lot of girls are going to go to these big schools early. Big block by Sierra Jenkins. She's so good all around. But it's exciting that they get to finish out the season playing for a national championship here in the HB Fieldhouse. Smart shot. Got to go deeper.
Back row attack. And Fitzpatrick putting it down.
And just great communication by Fitzpatrick. She's actually in the front row with Sierra Jenkins. Recognized that she was going to come in, make the tip. Decided to stay right side for that C or that 5. And called out to her sitter. That's an audible in the rotation. It's not a set play.
Too much fire on that for Emily Londot. Back-to-back points for top select.
And these girls have won for top select. They've won a lot of national championships together, so they're used to being on this stage. For Mintonette, this is the first time that they've played in AAU, and they're on the national championship court. Now, they've played in JOs and Junior Olympics for USAV, but have never gotten past 5th place. So this is the first time they've been on the Open Championship court.
And both teams were talking about what this can do for momentum moving forward because their club season doesn't end here. These teams will keep competing on.
And great block by Boyle. Good matchup. Tracks her hitter, tracks the ball, gets a nice close from her outside hitter, Sky Stokes. Nice block.
Jenkins with the backside there on the slide was Audrey Douglas.
And as a left front blocker, you have to recognize that early. Douglas didn't deceive that very well. She stayed at her point. She didn't stay at her point long enough. You can already see her taking out that slide transition. You have to stay in front of them. The shot that you want to take on the slide is to go back cross court. So you have to step right in front of that attacker and put the block up.
Pretty close first set here between Top Select out of Florida, the elite team coached by Blake, and the Mintonette Sports M71 squad out of Ohio.
And that's why Sierra Jenkins is one of the best setters in the nation. She can recognize when a defense is going to be susceptible to that tip, and she has so much power behind it. She reminds me of a former UCF setter, Jenny Frank. She was so offensively minded, could put that ball wherever she wanted to, and she's just super fun to watch.
Attack coming from the right side from Emily Londot. How much of this shifting and movement is necessary to win in a match like this with the caliber of athlete out there?
I mean, you want to make your middle blockers, that's their job, right? They block. So you want to make your middle blockers work as much as possible and then put pressure on the pin blockers at all times. So you'll see them, just like that last play, you'll see teams run plays in seams, which are the areas between the outside and the middle and then the right front, quote-unquote, home position. They're going to put things in the seams to make both blockers move and create seams for their block or their attack.
Fitzpatrick there into the net, so we'll have a side out for Mintonette. That's their head coach here, Maxwell Miller, who we showcased in the Open. A tip from Top Select. Here's the counter. And the set goes outside. The block is there. It's made by number 3, Mintonette. Excuse me, number 5, Emily Londot.
And when that ball is out of system, Taylor Head does a nice job of trying to get her feet to the ball, but McKissick has to pull that ball 5 and 5. 5 feet off, 5 feet inside. Let her attacker go get that ball out of system.
We'll give it back to Londot.
Great dig by Jenkins.
Head gets it over. Trying to get back in system here. And just out. The payoff not there.
Looks so pretty, though, when she went up there to swing on that ball. I thought I was going to hit that back corner. Just a little bit more thumb up. Too sharp cross. But that's a really aggressive swing into a good zone on the court. Keep attacking that same seam.
Got to give a shout out to our official there on the corner. She didn't budge. Big strike now. Nice dig by McKissick.
You can't tip around Londot. You have to swing high. You have to swing
Head
against
again.
her.
And who's there? Londot making her presence known.
Yeah, you can't, especially when you have the size disadvantage like Taylor Head does, you can't be timid. You have to go up there, use your full approach, get back to your point, maybe take a 4-step approach, attack the middle in this rotation. Because Londot is so much taller, you want to put the pressure on the middle on that block. And just like that, 2-point swing gets teams right back in it. You can't go back-to-back with errors. You have to side out, get that first ball kill. But Mintonette is not going away without a fight. They are scrappy and have a lot of offense.
And they talked about being so close. What placement there from Audrey Douglas, though. Put it exactly where she wanted it on the other side.
2 diving blockers, comes in from the right back. That's just a tough play to see, especially because a lot of times that middle attacker is going to be hidden behind the block. The defense can't read it necessarily, so it's an easy kill for Top Select.
Right side, feeling the heat. We'll try it again.
Oh, great defense, though. Top Select. Just too powerful from Terry.
She doesn't even look like that stress fracture is even bothering her now. When we were talking to the team earlier, maybe gentle
seating, gentle
yes.
sitting down.
I mean, these athletes are warriors out here. Nice play there by Audrey Douglas.
And these girls typically don't play together in high school. So they've been together for the last 6 months playing club, but you know, they've got such great chemistry together. Been together at least 2 seasons, both sides. You can see the team chemistry. They have the good flow. You know, there's nothing that's going to drop between 2 players. It's everything's a well-oiled machine. It's very systematic. It's very, very thought out and strategic.
Emma Brown sends it over. Big time put down at the net.
It's just a late read on the block. I think if, you know, not to discredit Audrey Douglas at all, she's a very powerful hitter, but from the blocking schematics, you have to make that read way sooner. You're a little bit too late to that ball. You have to track your hitter and keep an eye out for where they're going to attack.
And they get one back here, Mittenette. Off the hands of number 9 there, Marianne Boyle. Providence commit. Big East. Lefty serve over.
Yeah, that's
welcome to the front row. Ball's over. And the big swings keep coming. Changing up pacing. Our longest rally of the match. And who takes care of the ball? Sierra Jenkins.
Yeah, anytime you can have a setter that can put the ball deep. Trained my high school setters to do this all year long, and once they actually got it, it was beautiful because it's just, you think she's going to tip, you know she's going to tip, so all that defense gets sucked in bunches. And good setters will make good blockers hesitate.
Sierra Jenkins going to play at Brown University, Ivy League.
And her volleyball IQ certainly translates to her academic IQ. She's just one of the smartest players on the court. Good block by Hartfield in the middle. Nice press. Good save by Stokes, good coverage.
Ball stays up, give it another go.
Yeah, that's the right idea. Great dig by Head.
The block keeps coming. Ball still in play. Back row attack. Head sends it back.
Great dig out of the back row.
We'll keep the party going. Everybody trying to find a way to get back in system here. And the attack on the right side drops. Does it? Oh! No, wow. It gets back over.
Okay, if that play doesn't give you chills, I don't know what will. What an awesome play, both sides. Super lucky dig. 2 players, McKissick just throwing her hand on it, caught Londot a little bit off guard. But I'm loving this matchup between Ann Fitzpatrick on the outside for top select and then the matchup of Londot on the other side. I just love watching these 2 battle. That's what it's all about on the pins.
A pair of back-to-back long rallies there. And what are we in store for the rest of this championship match?
This beautiful, beautiful playing of volleyball. And this is what it's all about. These girls there's 2,800 teams in this tournament, over 42,000 athletes, and it comes down to the 17 Open Championship. This is one of the better divisions, obviously, older girls get. A lot of Division I implications for these girls, and this is where a lot of them get recruited, so it's just an awesome, awesome thing to watch.
And it's one of the largest AAU events I think in the country, in the world. I think they still own the Guinness World Record for most participation.
Volleyball's crazy, man. They have this, so you have it here, you have it at the convention center. It's a whole thing. It's a lot of opportunity for girls.
Right side attack is good for Sydney Conley. Future FSU Seminole right there, showing us a tiny smile. Her team with a 5-point advantage in this first set of the 17 Open Championship. And keep the arms swinging. Scrappy play from both sides. back row attack now from Taylor Head.
Yeah, look at that swing. Super aggressive. Go after it.
Sky Stokes sets up again.
Takes the setter out. That's a good defensive swing.
In front row, trying to keep
great
it up.
dig.
She does.
Oh, great play.
Back over.
Watch the slide.
A tip comes through, and on the floor is Chitty.
Chitty is all over this place. Good block. Yeah, smart play.
In the middle, trying to be put away. Instead, this point ends with net in favor.
And just 80% of the world is covered by water. The rest is covered by Chitty and McKissick in the back row. I'm telling you, these liberos are they're putting on a show for us today. Keeping that ball alive. Scrappy teams. So it's all about in the championship.
Chitty obviously going to Rutgers and McKissick to University of Florida.
Great block. It's a good matchup. Great setting choice. So what happened? Terry comes in the first few rotations with Stokes in the front row for Mintonette. They were really attacking that right side. Not the best setting choice or not the best option in the front row for having Taylor Head go after having Sydney Conley go after that block in Terry. Oh yeah, that's a good matchup. Good block.
We'll feed her again. Fitzpatrick keeps it coming over. Terry on the opposite side. Unfavorable drop there for Mintonette. The ball seems so slippery right there at the net area.
And you know, you give kudos to a middle that's paying attention and wants to be aggressive. So Hartfield, I applaud you. Let your setter come in and take that ball, though. Let him get that second contact.
Big time block there from Raina Terry. Drops out of bounds, so obviously the point going the other way.
And again, it's just a bit late. It just needs to be a little bit sooner. Hands are still down as she's attacking. If she's swinging up there, you want to be up there just a millisecond earlier to press that ball over. She would have had that block if she was just a bit earlier.
Powerful swing and finish up in front row for Taylor Head.
Fitzpatrick with that huge serve. Stokes tried to make a good pass, just overpassed it.
And we have a timeout called here from Mintonette as they trail by 4 points. Let's go ahead and listen in.
We're going to slowly walk you up for serve receive and pull you back in for Terry, okay, after the timeout, just to give 14 a little bit more time to think about it. I think she's 2 for 5 right now, okay, but those 2 are coming. We just got to continue to move our body and get our butt behind the ball. All right, let's go.
Hey, we can do this.
Aaron?
Yeah, it's just cool because at this level you keep track of so many different things. And, you know, I love technical coaches, analytical, technical coaches. And Max Miller's talking about that. He's saying, okay, you know, she's 2 for 5 she has 2 errors for every 5 serves she has. One of those errors is coming, but we need to sit back there, get our feet around the ball, pass the ball well. We can't rely on them to make mistakes.
And Fitzpatrick, the jump serve. What a dagger. Jeez, that's a bullet coming at you. We'll reset on the right side. This one drops. Sydney Conley, the beneficiary.
And this right side for Mintonette is just super susceptible to being battled by the block. Give kudos to Sydney Conley for staying as active as she is in this set. That's one key factor for Top Select. Just keep pushing that right side attack.
A little tap over from Boyle. And there she is. Welcome back. Taylor Head. Another kill.
The block's still just a bit late. So Taylor Head's going up to swing. It's just not pressing. See how they're still on their press over as she's swinging. You have to be up and over. Good win, though, by Taylor Head. She's very smart when it comes to that block. She'll hit through it and around it very well.
Fitzpatrick again making them work on that serve receive. And she'll get the finisher. Listen, you got to reward her for doing such a great job, right, from the service line?
Of course, yeah. And if you're on the Mintonette side, you cannot tip to the libero because McKissick's going to put that ball in a settable location. You have to be defensive. You have to force your opponent out of system. so they don't have a good setup for even a back row attack. Oh, great
Set
play by
point
Terry.
right here. And Mitnet cannot handle the serve. And Fitzpatrick closing this one out for top select 17 in the first set. We saw a few good rallies back and forth here in the 17 Open Championship. The two teams will switch sides on the court, and we will return with set number 2. The winner of this match goes on to play the Dominican Republic and the World Championships. Stick around. We have the second set on the way.
Select, it's keep attacking that right side of Mintonet. You have Lundot on the outside for Mintonet, and she is just a powerful blocker. You can't keep trying to force the ball to her, but that right side super susceptible. For Mintonet, it's all about passing. You can't let any server run away with a strong amount of serves back to back. You have to pass first, run your offense from there.
And have a little fun. Work on those dance moves in between. They told us early on, Mitnet said they're an energy team. So, like, once they get going, that's how they kind of find their groove and they focus in. And they're newcomers here. This is their first trip to AAUs, and this is the national championship for the 17 Open division. So they kind of come in with a refreshed sense of urgency, so to speak. Lo and behold, did they know they were going up against the Central Florida Juggernauts, top select 17, the elite Blake team that, to my understanding, this unit has won 3 national titles together over the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, they've been here, we know for sure, for 15s and 16s. We've seen Sierra Jenkins win a few national championships here in the HP Fieldhouse. Same thing with McKissick.
It's almost like a home court advantage. A lot of these players from Central Florida. Audrey Douglas, who sent that one over, is from Haggerty High School, just about 30 miles away. Wow, how deceptive was that from Sarah Jenkins?
Oh, great dig by Fitzpatrick. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Downing.
Fitzpatrick sends it over. And then bodies hit the ground. The kill goes to Mitnet and number 5 there, Emily Lundot.
And Londot's just so powerful on the right side. Such a presence at the net, can block the ball well. 80% of the ball goes to the outside, so if you have a good right side blocker, you're in good shape.
Wow, look at that elevation. I know it went out of bounds there for Imani Hartfield, but she can jump out of this gym.
Yeah, super athletic, big springs. Maybe has some springs in her shoes. We don't know. We're just hypothetically.
I could do that.
Good slow down by the block. And Terry, we've seen her really swing heavy on the ball. Again, recovering from a back stress fracture. That just sounds excruciatingly painful, but toughing it up and playing in this tournament.
Jenkins, the lefty serve.
Good save.
Ball saved, yep. And that one delivered from Emma Brown.
Good passes lead to good offense. I love the tempo. That's one thing that Max Miller talked about before. They run a fast tempo offense when they can, and that's exactly what they need to do to beat this top select team. That pass was on the nose perfect.
All right, getting the outside with some touches. Emma Brown in the middle. How's the right side looking? Well, with that block with Emma Brown and Lundot. Said, get out of here.
And it looks like the timing is so much better on this. Watch as they're pressed before she's swinging. That's the difference. That's how they battle against Sydney Conley. They have to be up and pressed earlier on these blocks, and they will get good touches.
Taylor Head sends it over. Give it to Lundot again. Off of Head's hands.
And Terry's putting on a clinic in the front row for her 3 rotations. That's a good swing. Maybe a little bit farther on defense for Head, maybe so she can turn and kind of cut around that ball rather than trying to just use her body. When you have someone that swings really hard on the ball, you have to keep that defense in your body line or within your body frame. You can't reach outside.
Mittenette with the clean ace there. Keeps the rally going. 6-1, a drastic change of momentum here.
Yeah, and I think it's because Mintonette was getting stuff started in that first set. Now, these two teams have played each other before with Top Select sweeping in 2. But if Mintonette keeps playing like that with that offense, they need to get out of this rotation. This is the rotation that traps them a lot with Fitzpatrick behind the line. They have to get a good pass and first ball killer FBK in the first set.
And how do you even combat something like that? I mean, I wish we had a speedometer.
Yeah, I know, right? So it has so much topspin on it, and if you notice, they're playing a 2-pass rotation for Mintonette. They don't have 3 across because they have the front row attacker.
Call that a win as it came over as a free ball. Fitzpatrick gets the set.
Good set, yeah,
Change
good
of
choice.
events. Beautiful placement there from Scotty Johnson.
And we haven't seen her dump at all. We really haven't, and I love setters that use it when they can. Her offense is still scrambling. She just nice and controlled. Sees McKissick's a little bit too baited on the inside because she hasn't dumped it all, hasn't kept true to that base. It's a good choice.
Head, big swing. Mintonette goes middle.
Oh, that's a good tip, though. Good touch by Head.
Getting back in system, outside swing. Big dig there from McKissick.
Good slowdown at the front row.
And he tried another dump there.
Good placement in the net for Top Select. Point goes to Mintonette. Totally different team than what we saw in the first set, which is so crazy. Volleyball's the craziest sport because there's so many momentum shifts. I love that Mintonette kind of has Top Select on their heels. Good blocking, better timing on that block.
Big point from the pipe. And Fitzpatrick keeping them afloat here in the second set. Elizabeth McKissick, the UF commit, here set to serve for Top Select. Lined up and ready to go is Stokes. All right.
Good slowdown.
And this is the rotation they like, right? Taylor Head's back up front.
Yeah, you have 3 hitters in the front row. You have Douglas, Conley, and Head in the front row. Sierra Jenkins really has her choice of options here, and that's what makes it really hard for middle blockers to try to make a read. Emma Brown's working that lateral movement as much as possible, but when you have a Sierra Jenkins who's super deceptive, it's hard to make those early reads.
Back to Head.
That's great block setup. So Head's inside on that play because it's a 5-5 set. The block shows that she has the line, but because of her body positioning with the court, she doesn't have it, takes the bait, hits the ball out of bounds.
Point to Mintonette as Brown safely gets the ball over. We'll get a right side attack from Jenkins. And the power
Great
we're
dig.
seeing.
Both teams just playing amazing defense right now. Like nothing is going to hit the floor. Very, very few times has the ball hit the floor with someone not touching it, trying to scramble for the ball.
I just can't imagine the ice baths after this. Like, right? You were hitting the hardwood floor and chasing down every ball. The bruises. It's all worth it.
Looks like that slide was good tempo. Boyle maybe dropped that elbow a little bit too much. Needs to keep it fast. See how it's a little bit lower. Needs to get that elbow up nice and high so she can pop that elbow wrist. That's all of the middle arm swing is. Elbow wrist. It's not the full swing like you'd see from an outside.
The lead has dwindled just to 2 points. Back row attack proves successful. Raina Terry. Or excuse me, Emily Londot.
We haven't seen her attack out of the back row often. That's going against a big block in front of her. Didn't see where she was. Hopefully back row was talking to her and telling her she had 2 blocks. Oh, yeah, big block.
Marianne Boyle keeping them steady with Mintonette.
It just looks like the timing on the blocks are so much better in this second set for Mintonette too. I think they zeroed in on that the timing had to change just a little bit.
Too much firepower on that swing from Audrey Douglas. And Mintonette back up by 5 points. 12-7 here in the second set. We're going to listen in to head coach Maxwell Miller here.
Who's our last server?
Me.
Okay, so no, not now, but the one before that. I mean, we started to take some off. Well, I guess that's okay for you. Keep the velocity on the ball. All right. I mean, if we're going to miss, we're going to miss with a little more pace than that in zone 6. But we're going cross court. Or yeah, are we going cross court 1-to-1? Where's she at? You're in 6. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think 15 will probably take a good swing here. Let's go ahead and triple. Got it? Yeah. Spread wide. Spread wide.
I mean, talking about serving, especially with a team that has a lot of offensive options and big middles like Aubrey Douglas, you want to make sure that you're pushing the pace for the serve. You want to force your team out of system with a heavy serve.
This attack comes from Douglas in the middle.
Yeah, good win. Great dig, though, by Madison Chitty. Just keeping that ball alive, sets up a good 5-and-5 out of system for Lundot. And not closed, has to get 1 more inch over. Press that left hand in that seam.
Head. Big dig there from Fetchker. Oh, and she does it again. Sierra Jenkins with the tip.
And you have to expect that. When you know a setter is offensive, you have, as a defense, you have to be expecting that. 21, Scotty Johnson just got caught on her heels, but you know, setter to setter. They're going battle to battle, front row, back row right now, Sierra Jenkins and Johnson.
Long dot, right on cue, right on cue.
And it's the right setting choice for Johnson because Sierra Jenkins is the smaller of the front row blockers for top select. To have Lundot go down the line against her, it's a great call. You can see the obvious height difference there. Doesn't mean she's not disciplined. She's just a little bit shorter.
Douglas nearly got the ball down there. And no one in that back left corner to recover. Douglas steps back on.
And that's a great swing by Head. She has a triple block in the front row against that back row attack and just finds the right seam. Doesn't want to go through it, goes around it. Heads up play.
Jenkins again. Sends it over, then we're going to see Terry in the block at the net. Ball stays up. Swing in the middle. Back out to Terry. The block goes out of bounds. Point Mintonette.
And good teams, both sides have done this. You attack the block as a recovery. So the ball's tight to the net. You know you don't have an option. You hit it into it. You know your libero's going to be there to pick it up. And then you swing at the shot that you have. So good swing by Terry to go after Jenkins on that play.
Ball dribbling off the net. Jenkins sets it back up to Head. Reese out to middle. Nice dump from Brown. And the attack again.
Great swing. Great play all around. Out of system play. Scotty Johnson takes the first. Sky Stokes comes in, sets a nice high ball to let Lundot take that really pretty approach. Hits off the block. It's just hard to make those plays. It's like trying to play a ping pong ball.
Chitty nearly gets them on their heels here. That serve. We're going back outside to Terry. This one's won by top select, though.
One-on-one, Sierra Jenkins. Gibbs isn't even there. Good close. Good setup by Jenkins.
And she is the smallest woman on the court.
Yeah, just because setters aren't good blockers doesn't mean that they're not disciplined at it. They're just shorter than most people on the court. If they hit it right at you, normally block it.
What a swing there from Emily Lundot. Her team now with a 7-point advantage, and this is the second set. They're playing down.
Buckeyes are getting a tremendous athlete and leader, and Emily Lundot She is super fun to watch and carrying this team from that right side, doing everything, blocking, hitting the ball well. Good dig by Chitty.
Back row coming in from Stokes. Chase
Oh, great
tried to
hustle.
chase down. Taylor Head tried to get there. A lot of fight on the floor right now. And we're going to have a timeout called. The winner of this one will go up against the Dominican Republic in the World Championships at 4:30. That's our next match here. And then to close out the evening, we got the 15 Open final, Aaron. So much great volleyball ahead of us.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. These upper level, I mean, I love watching the 11, 12, 13, and 14. You know, anytime that there's collegiate implications and recruiting implications, it always makes the game a lot more intense and a lot more fun.
Of course, we're here inside the HP Fieldhouse. You're watching the AAU Junior National Championship, the 17 Open. Despina Barton here in the booth alongside former UCF outside hitter Aaron Campbell. Recruiting starts so much earlier than, right? What year did you commit to UCF?
My junior year I committed, yeah, but I was getting letters from colleges starting my freshman year.
Some of these kids have committed since their freshman year. Now things are settled. Obviously, a lot of the women, all the women on the court right now are going on to play collegiate volleyball. See where this point comes to be settled at. Right side just out.
And we saw a top select for Sydney Conley the ball on that right side very often in that first set. So far, the aggressive serving, the offensive change from Mintonette has made it hard to get Conley the ball. Great dig by Jenkins.
Head set somebody. Confusion there as Gibbs gets it over.
Good pull.
Raina Terry, big pass there from Head. Bodies on the floor, and we're seeing Stokes from the pipe. And what is this a little bit of frustration now? What are you seeing out here?
No,
Aaron?
I just think that, you know, volleyball is all about cat and mouse. Okay, you want to bait the offense and the defense to do specific things. As the rally goes on, you get a feel for that. You want to force the ball in transition. You're getting a feel for what the offense is. It's not frustration. It's going after the shot you think that's available because of the rally.
Stokes into the net there. A freebie for top select. I'm not sure this top select team has been down by this margin this whole tournament.
No, and they are undefeated in this entire tournament, and this team has so much chemistry together. They played together for a long time. That's a good serve. It's hard, you think that there'd be an adjustment in that, running a 3-pass serve receive, and I think he just did. Max Miller just called it. Especially against Anna Fitzpatrick with that, Ann Fitzpatrick with that awesome topspin, you have to put 3 bodies back there. There's too much court available.
Right side set up there for Jenkins.
Great sweep, great pass by Chitty. Great execution out of the middle by Emma Brown.
Another look there. Lorraine Fletcher. Clean serve. And welcome back, Taylor Head.
And she's naturally a line swinger. She loves to swing down the line. So good setting choice by Sierra Jenkins. That pull just led her to have that line shot wide open. Easy kill for Taylor Head.
And this is their star power rotation. Elizabeth McKissick serving. The UF bound volleyball player. Stokes takes a big swing and the block is there. We're seeing Douglas and Conley combine for a beauty.
Yeah, and in this rotation, if you're Mintonette, you want to go right side. You don't want to go up against this big block. Credit to Stokes for ripping that ball, but that's just a big block in front of her. You want to either run her in the seams or run something on the right side, maybe a slide or a back one. Yep, that's a great setting choice. Run Lundot out of the back row on the right side, completely deceived everybody in the front row. Emma Brown pulling that block right in the middle. Good timing by Emma Brown. Just solid swing by Lundot. That's a great setting choice.
Ability to make those adjustments in between points is pretty spectacular,
yeah,
right, Aaron?
And making the right call. You know, it's the beauty of volleyball is the points are so short, so you have to have that like short-term memory but long-term memory. You have to remember what happened the last time you were in that situation, but you have to forget the bad stuff that happened. So, you know, I'm really happy that Johnson made that setting choice. It's just way to go after that right side.
Douglas try to dump. Chitty will go outside to Stokes. This one can't get chased down. Johnson laying out.
And good block on the outside. Sierra Jenkins and Audrey Douglas just putting up forehands. That's a tough block to get through.
Mallory Downing from the service line for top select. And they combine again. Douglas this time with her choice. Taylor Head batting away that ball. This one's going to force a timeout here to be taken as the margin has now been cut down to 5 here in the second set. Mittenett with the advantage decide to take some time to think things over.
And both teams just playing great defense all around. Anytime you have Audrey Douglas in the front row, you know you're going to get a dominating blocking performance. But what's really interesting is it's not been one team or the other. Both teams have come to the net with that really deep intensity, big aggressiveness, swinging heavy on the ball, making sure that they're blocking in the right spots, blocking at the right timing. And kudos to Mintonette for really kind of changing up their game plan coming into the second set, getting a 5-point lead. However, we know top select is not going out without a fight.
And Aaron, I mean, this tournament, this national championship, it means a little bit more, right? College is already settled, but there's a lot to play for with your teammates.
Yeah, and a lot of these girls are leaving early. They're going because they're going to these big perennial powers in the collegiate volleyball world. A lot of them are graduating from high school early and getting a spring season under their belt so that they can be ready for the fall semester.
Big dig there from Chitty. And the put down from Head. They're not going anywhere.
And this is their best rotation for top select. Head goes back to serve. They get Fitzpatrick in the front row. They have Douglas in the front row. A lot of offense for top select right now.
Ball going outside to Lundot. And back-to-back points for top select. Hanging on. Courtesy Audrey Douglas.
Good lateral movement, good body control. Nice block.
Lundot is in.
She can play anywhere. She has the speed of a middle running a 1. She has the ability to jump and leap like a true outside. She can hit from the right side really effectively. And this is the best rotation for Mintonette right now. They have Terry in the front row, Lundot in the front row, and they have Boyle.
They don't want this going to referee. Fitzpatrick gets denied. Set number 2 goes to Mittenette Sports. Man, they clawed on for that one, Aaron.
All about the offensive options for Mintonette and tightening up that blocking in this second set.
Here's that last attack. The denial at the net is keeping Mittenette in this one. They take set number 2. We're going to number 3 here in the 17 Open Finals Championship. 15 points decides who wins this all. Stick around. Third set coming up. Live pictures inside the HP Fieldhouse. You're watching the 46 AAU Volleyball Championships, and this is the 17 Open Championship. Mittenette fighting back after the 25-17 loss in the first set to take set number 2 against top select. Here are those numbers early on. Aaron, what stands out to you?
It's always errors. Volleyball is a game of errors. Who can control them and have less in that category will win. Kudos to Mintonette. They really changed up their entire game plan going into the second set. but this third set it's truly a rubber match based on these statistics, as long as Top Select kind of minimizes those errors going into this one.
And just a refresher here, it's going to be Mitnet in the baby blue and white on the court, and then Top Select wearing the black and gold, the Orlando team. Mitnet making their first appearance here at this tournament and in this national championship. Meanwhile, Top Select's been here for the past 3 years, and they've won it with this unit. So the new kids versus the old kids on the block. And because this is the third set, it will be the 1st to 15, win by 2. And then at the 8-point mark, both teams will switch sides. An unfortunate way to start things out, though, for Mitnet. Sierra Jenkins here, Brown University commit with the first serve over. Tried to save it there was Chitty. It'll go down as an ace for Jenkins.
And 2 errors back to back. They have to tighten their game up. This set is not as long. Remember, you're only going to 15. This is a sprint. So you have to be zeroed in, you have to pass the ball well, and you have to serve the ball over the net.
And they're going to go to their go-to, and that ball is in for Emily Londot. They don't look as nervous as I feel like I would be.
No, they're having a lot of fun out there. That's just a great shot. Deep into the corner, she uses all that strength, all that height, places that ball perfectly.
And Megan.
Great dig by Stokes.
This one dropping through the block. And another point for Londot.
And I don't think we're surprised that if this team wins, it's on the shoulders of 2 players from Mintonette, Terry and Londot. They are going to carry this offense through a win. Too many options for Top Select.
And you got Fitzpatrick battling back. Their arsenal just getting ready to go. It's locked and loaded.
Good eye by Chitty following that ball all the way to the line. We've seen a few of those dribblers come on in. I think that's the first service error from Fitzpatrick. They had a few in the first set, but she was ripping those aces into the second set.
That ball is short. We're going to go back to, of course, Londot. I mean, if you're the opposing team here, Aaron, how do you kind of shut this down?
Yeah, you think you'd want to have the better matchup on that side. Maybe put, it just depends on who's the better blocker. It's all about the matchups at this age. You have the weapons that you do. That's a great short serve, forcing the ball out of system. Yep, that's exactly what a short serve does. Especially when the setter's front row, there's going to be a lot of crossing patterns that happen with the middle. So when you serve the ball short, you force your opponent to only have the one option. Whether it's, you could have the back row attack, but in the front row you have the one option. Good block read by Mintonette.
Head denied again.
Now watch the tip. Sierra Jenkins is front row. If you are the back row for Mintonette, you know that that's an option. Stay true to your base because that dump is coming.
Mintonette with a 3-point advantage here in the third and final set. This one deciding the 17 Open champion.
Good slowdown, good dig by Fitzpatrick.
Tackle on the right side, dig there by Johnson. Just getting it over out of survival mode was Head. She wants it back, but is going to be successful this go around.
Nice swing off the hands. She's been blocked a few times on the outside. Like that she went after that susceptible part of the block, those fingertips. And if you look at the fingertips versus your palm, you're obviously there's not as much surface area. So you want to go after those blockers' fingers when you attack.
So much to think about when you're going up, and your footwork, your speed, your swing, blockers.
Great dig, great swing.
Right side was trying to get activated there for Mitnet. They'll give it back to Terry.
Great dig by McKissick. Just perfect placement.
And the attack is into the net for top select.
And McKissick makes it look so easy. Like, that's the part that's so frustrating for a volleyball player like me. Like, she makes it look simple, but every single dig is in the same spot. Her dig location is what sets her apart. That's what UF wants out of a libero. They want consistency in digging location.
Douglas with the dump. We're going to go ahead and
oh, great cover.
Reset. Terry keeps sending it over. On the flip side, what a dig there in back row. That dribbler drops. Last touch by Scotty Johnson.
And Chitty is certainly playing for a national championship for her team, keeping that ball alive, digging all over the floor. Little tight to the net, but just a soft touch off the block. So smart, so intentional. Good job by Scotty Johnson.
And this is what we talked about after the 8th point. The two teams will switch sides. Right now, Aaron, you talked about the defense. Look at that number.
Her team has 31. She has 20. I mean, they have 51. She has 20 of those digs. That's insane. That's insane. I mean, she's been impressive since she was 14. I mean, this girl, I can't say enough about these girls. We're fortunate enough to have seen a lot of them, the top select girls, be here in this stage before. Mintonet is certainly a welcomed new team coming into this tournament for the first time and playing in it for a national championship.
The presence at the net there from Sierra Jenkins and Taylor Head earns them a point. Yeah, the girls talked about this being definitely something that they want to fight for. It's a point of pride. This is their hometown. This is their final trip here at AAU Nationals, playing alongside each other. And you want that gold medal around your neck and a chance to win Worlds.
Great dig by Downing, but just too much. Big swing out of the middle by Emma Brown. Haven't had her activated a lot, but she's been so consistent. The perfect M1 for this team, just goes up there. No errors, swings heavy on the ball.
Douglas with the tip. And it gets down for Sky Stokes. She's deceivingly good.
Yeah, you know, she's got this really powerful arm swing. Reminds me a lot of a girl I played with, Kristen Fisher. It's like a whip. It just comes around that ball so fast and bounces off the blocker's hands.
Let's go ahead and listen to this huddle.
Sky, yes. Terry, no. We can take chances and let her take swings, okay? Sky's got to go around the block or high hands, yeah? And then we've already talked about when the big is in, yeah? Okay. All right. Hey, let's keep moving her pin to pin. The big kid's not going to be able to close the block. She's sucking wind right now, okay? Let's go.
That was Maxwell Miller, the head coach for Mitnet Sports.
And talking about pushing that ball pin to pin. Again, a lot of middles. That you make them work lateral, they're going to leave seams. So keep forcing that ball pin to pin. Go slides, go fours. Make middles work laterally. There will always be seams. Oh, great short serve. There will always be seams there.
Head. And can't be handled there from Sarah Mortbizer. Top select. Staying in this.
Again, her favorite shot is the line, so you really have to take it away from her. Give her too much there. If Morbitzer can't sit back there and get that play, and not many people can. You have to defend that line against Taylor Head.
And there's your big striker. Long dot. When you get Stokes activated again. And out into the stands. Sky Stokes.
Again, you talk about players that just do their assignment. That's the perfect 0-2. She's not super fancy. She doesn't have the most power in the gym, but she's consistent. She doesn't err. She will either get you a kill or keep the ball in play. The perfect person for that position.
Clean serve over from Brown. 4 points away from potentially naming our 17 Open national champion.
Great coverage.
Ball stayed and played just out of bounds on the opposite side of the net. Three-point separating Mittenette and Top Select. Blake Rollins there trying to coach his girls up here through the final stretch. And what a beautiful serve. Audrey Douglas, the Auburn commit, gets it right off that white tape.
And it's just so hard to read because that ball's going to hit the net. It's going to slow down and or change direction.
Handled much better this go around. What a dig there from Chitty. Feels like one of those long rallies again. The set didn't go to Fitzpatrick the way she liked
Great
it.
pull.
And that was in.
Okay, so yes, we saw Sky Stokes get the kill, but that is all about the middle in Boyle. She pulled Hartfield because the set was perfect. The pass was perfect. The set was, everyone thought the ball was going to go the middle, opened up that huge seam for the outside.
And back-to-back points for Mittenette as the play was made at the net there. There's some questions, though, from Top Select. They didn't like the call. Again, we're in the third set here, so first to 15 wins it all. Nearly an error there from Head. And welcome back. That one's going to be tipped off of Top Select, so we're on a little roll here now, 1 point away from winning it all for the team from Ohio.
And if you have any doubt as to where the ball's going to go for Top Select right now, it's going to go outside to Ann Fitzpatrick.
And there's Fitzpatrick with the kill, keeping them in it.
Now you have to stave off 5 championship points if you're Top Select. And you can certainly do that with the defense you have. First ball kill. I expect we're probably going to see Emily Londot get the set here.
And here she comes on the slide. Ball is over and out of bounds. Emily Londot for the win. What a scene on championship court. Mittenette dropping the first set, clawed their way back in the second, and made a statement here to be crowned the 17 Open championship.
This team hasn't gotten past 5th place. It's the first championship as a team. You know, sometimes you see these big names. You see UF, Brown, Auburn, Rice, all these big perennial powers in volleyball, and then a team that just has consistent players across the board come in and take it. Always makes for a good underdog story. Dethrones the team that's won this division or won this group together since 14.
They told us early on it was about their energy, and they set their own pace and tempo, and boy, did they show that off in this championship game.
In the first set, it was all about the offense for Top Select. They had the quarterbacking of Sierra Jenkins across the board, dishing out great setting choices. Really attacked that right side effectively in Sydney Conley. Just beat the block a lot at the net and had great serving. But here comes Mintonette into the second set. They settled down their blocking, had better timing, got the offense going. They passed the ball a little bit better. And even though Top Select has so many powers in the front row, the defense and the offensive threats across the board for Mintonette took that second set. And then in the third, it was all about Londot. She led this team for Mintonette, carrying this team on her shoulders.
This was a fun match to be a part of because it went back and forth. There was a lot of momentum changes, and the team from Ohio can now call themselves national champions.
Yeah, and really 3 sets as close as almost you can get them. The only big thing for us to notice is that Top Select just had more errors. And it's about who can control the errors, especially when it comes to that third set.
And the action's not over for Mittenette. They're actually going to be back on this court to compete in the World Championships in just a little bit. But it's the Mittenette sports team out of Ohio that takes care of business in the 17 Open Final.